NeoCoV. The media is creating this fear around a coronavirus that hasn't infected humans yet. Although bat coronaviruses have to be taken seriously, it is only an assumption to say that the new virus will transmit to humans and cause high mortality. Scientists from Wuhan Institute of Virology recently released a non-peer-reviewed study on a type of coronavirus called NeoCoV, the coverage of which has put people in a tizzy. This is when the study clearly mentions that there is a real possibility of the virus which is found in bats in South Africa transmitting to humans. Several news websites such as The Tribune, in their coverage of the study, highlighted that new CoV had the potential to kill one in every three infected people, without mentioning that no human has been infected with the virus yet, and the study has not been reviewed either. For the past year, scientists have been looking for the source of strange coronavirus sequences that have appeared in the city's wastewater. Last January, researchers team found nine new coronavirus species. A former UBC postdoctoral research fellow led an international research team in reanalyzing all public RNA sequencing data to uncover almost 10 times more RNA viruses that were previously known, including several new species of coronaviruses and some unexpected places. This planetary-scale database of RNA viruses can help pave the way to rapidly identify virus spillover into humans as well as those viruses that affect livestock, crops, and endangered species. According to Certus project, published the stunning result of the research in the journal Nature this week. The Certus project has able to build a ridiculously powerful supercomputer on AWS equivalent in power to 2,500 CPUs. The supercomputer read through 20 million gigabytes of publicly available gene sequences data from 5.7 million biological samples around the world, searching for a specific gene that indicated the presence of an RNA virus. The samples have been collected and freely shared within the world research community over 13 years and include everything from ice core samples to animal DNA. 132,000 RNA viruses were found, but 15,000 were known previously, and nine new species of coronaviruses were also found. Without the CLC and AWC cloud, it would take a traditional supercomputer well over a year and hundreds of thousands of dollars to perform the 2,000 years of CPU time necessary for this analysis. Certus accomplished it in 11 days for $24,000. If a patient presents the fever of unknown origin once that blood is sequenced, you can now connect that unknown virus in the human to a way bigger database of existing viruses. If a patient, for example, presents with a viral infection of unknown origin in St. Louis, you can now search through the database in 2 minutes and connect that virus to, say, a camel in sub-Saharan Africa sampled in 2012. Genetic research into cancer with BC cancer when COVID-19 pandemic hit and he switched gears. The work which the underestimated Babian says started as a fun side project within 2020. When the first results started on his laptop, indicating that Saratus was not only working but producing data almost incomprehensibly fast. Omicron survives two to three times longer than original Wuhan coronavirus strain on plastic surfaces and human skin. Slowly but steadily, the novel coronavirus Delta variant, which dominated the lethal second wave of COVID-19, is being replaced by the newer, more infectious Omicron variant around the world. In fact, the latest reports indicate that Omicron has been in the community transmission stage, having become dominant in many cities. It is more stable than all the current variants of concern. The environmental stability of each variant has evaluated using constructed human gene, skin models, and plastic substrates so as to gain more insight into the pathogenesis. After placing the virus on plastic surface, researchers found Omicron to have the highest survival time as compared to other variants. Here is how long each virus survived. Original Wuhan strain survived for 56 hours, alpha variant 191 hours, beta variant 157 hours, gamma variant 60 hours, delta variant 114 hours, Omicron variant survived for 193.5 hours. 2 hours 12 minutes more than alpha variant. On human skin, the survival time for each variant was as follows. Original Wuhan strain 8.6 hours, alpha variant 19.6 hours, beta variant 19.1 hours, gamma variant 11 hours, delta variant 16.8 hours, Omicron variant 21.1 hours. 2 hours more than beta variant and 1.5 more than alpha variant. 5 hours more than delta variant. The study also found that the disinfectants were effective against all the aforementioned viruses within 50 seconds, although the VOCs showed slightly more resistance as compared to the original Wuhan strain. All these variants of concerns are more powerful than the original COVID-19 virus. While these findings offer valuable insights on the variant survivability, they do not explain why some variants showed higher environmental stability than others. Moreover, the relationship between the virus load on the surface and the risk of transmission also remains unclear. It is possible for people to be infected through contact with contaminated surfaces or objects, but the risk is generally considered very low. Another research is posted yesterday, and the results are first of its kind study in which healthy young volunteers were purposely infected with an early strain of the pandemic coronavirus. After giving people a low dose of coronavirus, scientists tracked how infection progressed in their bodies. None of the participants got seriously ill, and scientists were able to closely track their symptoms and gain unique insight into how both SARS-CoV-2 levels and symptoms vary from start to finish during an infection. The success of this initial human challenge study provides a strategy for testing COVID-19 treatments, vaccines, and viral variants going forward. The study may also help scientists understand why the pandemic coronavirus can breach the immune defenses of some people but not others. In the study, 34 healthy volunteers aged 19 to 29 were given nose drops with a small amount of viruses. 18 or 53% became infected. According to polymerase chain reaction PCR tests, most volunteers developed mild to moderate symptoms, but none needed hospitalizations or treatments, showing the study could be done safely according to the investigators who ran it. The study also found that after the first 1 to 2 days of infection, rapid antigen test reliably indicated the presence of virus. The results posted on the preprint server and not yet to be peer reviewed but are under review of a Nature journal. It is very important use of work, says Dowdy, an infectious disease epidemiologist at the Johns Hopkins School of Public Health. None of the other researchers that out there is able to track both the symptoms and immunology from a known time of infection. It is really a first glimpse at what happens from the very beginning of the infection. They launched their trial in early 2021 with a viral strain that had circulated in the United Kingdom in July 2020, early in the pandemic. None of the 26 male and 18 female volunteers had been vaccinated or had a natural SARS-CoV-2 infection. Volunteers were infected with a low dose but about equivalent to the amount of virus in one drop of nasal fluids when they were in their most infectious at a highly contaminated quarantine unit at the Royal Free Hospital. Whether because of the low dose, the volunteer vigorous immune systems, or both, the virus failed entirely to establish infection in the vaccine people who got the nose drops. Because volunteers were given the same virus in the same way with all the small dose, the findings open a door studying how some people manage to resist infection. One, only two volunteers with confirmed infections were completely asymptomatic. The other 16 developed mild to moderate symptoms, such as nasal stiffness. That is the news posted in Science went on to nasal vaccines under development around the world may make better boosters by stopping the coronavirus in the airways only. Now let's talk about the drone attack. UN says it's destroyed three drones with hostile intent. The United Arab Emirates has intercepted and destroyed three drones that penetrated the Gulf country airspace over unpopulated areas. The country's defense ministry said interception and destructions away from populated areas of hostile drones. It is ready to deal with any threats and is taking all necessary measures. The attack has been claimed by a little-known Iraqi group named Awliya. The True Promise Brigade says it launched four drones targeting vital facilities. And UAE has been hit by several drone and missile attacks over the past few weeks, amid an escalation of conflict in Yemen. Kim Jong-un also blasts his way onto Biden's foreign policy agenda. are testing longest range missiles since 2017. On Tuesday, also the South Korean military confirmed that the North had fired two cruise missiles in its fifth test of 2022. But after that, seventh test was also performed a few days ago. North Korea fired what appeared to be the most powerful missile it has tested since President took office as it revives its old playbook in brinkmanship to wrest concessions from Washington and neighbors amid a prolonged stalemate in diplomacy. The Japanese and South Korean militaries said the missile was launched on a high trajectory apparently to avoid the territorial spaces of neighbors and reached a maximum altitude of 2,000 kilometers and traveled 800 kilometers before landing in the sky. The flight details suggest that North tested its longest range ballistic missile since 2017. It was the seventh round of launches this month. The unusually fast pace of tests indicated its intent to pressure the Biden administration over long-stalled nuclear negotiations such as pandemic-related difficulties to put further stress on economy broken by decades of mismanagement and crippling US-led sanctions. More missiles will be tested which will reach the west coast of USA also. And it will take some months for them to develop those missiles. I had bought a small drone whose range is to those hostile drones which are intercepted by UAV. Otherwise also UAV is involved in job scams similar to New Zealand. All the time they keep on sending fake job offers to youngsters throughout the world. And the marriage of New Zealand's Prime Minister has also been delayed. But they are not arresting those cheaters and fraudsters. In fact, they are promoting them because they bring good revenue for the government of New Zealand, United Arab Emirates, Nigeria, Uganda, Sudan. These kind of countries are earning through frauds and scams only. I used to post some videos of my drone. Most of the reviews are already posted. As soon as I try to fly it, it starts receiving the scheduled path and start moving towards unknown destination. Most of the time it lands without my knowledge inappropriately, sometimes across the river and have to collect it. And whenever I had to press this emergency stop, it fell down immediately without decreasing the Altitude gradually. I removed the CR2032 battery from my chronograph's magnet, predicting that it will fit in my fixed camera's remote. But the fixed camera remote is equipped with CR2025 only. Not even one time I have used that underground or underwater equipped remote, which is meant for swimming only. But the battery was exhausted. Hence I utilized it once or twice for selfie videos and selfie photographs. Due to rain, I cancelled my visit to nearby place for broadcasting in order to keep my YouTube channel consistent. I thought it is appropriate to post at least 4 videos in a month, but without proper schedule and travel assistance or any equipments which are meant for broadcasting in a superior quality. I tried my best to buy kits for camera, gimbal, and a drone also. But I don't think I can compete with the vloggers who have succeeded multiple times. And I am not unhappy or discouraged also. Because when I launched the YouTube channel in 2009, I didn't got one subscriber for the whole year. The first subscriber I got was in 2010, and gradually the subscription started increasing, and I am simultaneously broadcasting live news. In Facebook also, I am very active in my groups, and I have more social broadcasting channels. There I managed to level up subsequently, but due to these kind of diversified channels, I might not have concentrated on YouTube itself. But I don't believe in wasting a single hour of my life. I'm not fond of roaming here and there without any intent. There are various factors to succeed in any business, especially if you are really devoted to gain money from these kind of media related businesses. You have to be very brilliant in vocabulary, and your face should be very photogenic. You should be very good in communication skills also. I might have been lagging in all of them. Moreover, the content should be very original, not like me that I used to read the news in front of my screen. That is really absurd. But the recapitulating power increases, and we used to understand all the news correctly. And since I am not connected with any person in real life, my speech power doesn't disintegrate or degrades over time. Otherwise, I would have become an animal living in an isolated city where most of the neighbors are very absurd and violent, or we used to get provoked too easily, and most importantly, their topics of discussions are not relevant to me. Even if I start interest in those topics, which are moreover inclined towards prostitution, escort services, motorist drugs, and other crimes, if I am not ready to get involved in those activities, then also it will bring a lot of anxiousness in my mind. If they are talking about prostitution and you are not ready to utilize those escort services, then the first reaction which your mind susceptible will be similar to an important man. But will definitely think that you are rejecting your views because you are not, or your body is important. That will bring a lot of distress in my brain, resulting in various cerebrum related diseases also. And taking into consideration the number of people who get paralyzed around my own house where I live in Panchkula, I should be very cautious about my daily schedule. Most of the time I used to engage myself productively in designing videos or Google Analytics or websites or search engine optimization of my existing websites, and sometimes use to check that whether they are working fine or not. The rich people who are deceived by their partners are more concerned of earning money through them. And even if they sell off the shares or not, it doesn't affect their health. But here the case is totally different. A small amount of words can be very disastrous for me. And you must have seen many videos were posted while in medical state also. This is not liked by me. I'm not in favor of promoting any kind of alcohol. All the time I was keeping some beer only, and sometimes I saw many vloggers who are visiting alcohol shops and bars to promote their alcohol trees during Christmas also. And they are earning handsome amount of money for these kind of activities. And what is the shame in drinking alcohol in front of camera? They are also distinguishing and reviewing the glasses full of vodkas and wines in front of YouTube cameras only, and they are promoting them without placing any verification for the viewers. So I'm ending this broadcast. This is not any kind of transformation into YouTube schedules. I will keep on broadcasting and then. And my bicycle quality is also deteriorating day by day due to unavailability of proper service technicians, and whether they are not cooperating to me, that is a different aspect. Sometimes I have to visit twice or thrice also. And the war of online or offline purchasing might have also been initiated, and it become more prevalent during the elections time. sometimes the technicians think that if they will repair in front of your eyes, they are imparting some knowledge to others. It can be harmful in terms of business prospects of others, shopkeepers or repair mechanics. And most of the time they are such overconfident they used to unscrew it and then forget to assemble it properly, thereby resulting in inferior quality balancing. So I'm ending this broadcast. If you have liked some travel vlogs, then you can subscribe it or like it also. All of the remedies, all of the technical help for vlogging has been taken according to my knowledge. I can't buy more products like these ones. So if you have lost hope in my projections and future businesses or vlogging, I don't have any trouble if you will unsubscribe me also. Because you might have seen the names of my channels and the names of my social networking sites. They were directly connected with the businesses which I lost. That is India's first environment-friendly bathroom fitting manufacturing industry, known as Messrs. Gagan Enterprises, and the brand which was patented in 2001 was Civic Bathroom Fittings. And originally, the motive behind each and every social networking site was to promote the torture and harassment faced by from corrupt Indians. And the hard copy was also sent to Human Rights Commission. And the blog was very popular.